Okay, great. So we are going to jump into our training tonight, and I'm really excited about this topic because I feel like it's the topic that we've all been trying to demystify, crack the code, um, social media, right? I'm still, a little nervous about it. I've been putting myself out there a lot more. You have to be willing to be cringe at first and just rip the band-aid off. But I really enjoy this topic because it's one that I personally want to get better at. And I feel like there's just a huge opportunity for us to cast a wider net. We are a global company. It's a global economy. We are currently authorized to build teams and distribute in the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, Poland, and New Zealand with global expansion plans. So this social media, which is a tool, it doesn't replace everything else that we've been learning about these in-person events, which are magical. I really believe that's where the magic happens. I don't know how many gold tickets there are. That's where the magic happens is, really in person, I believe, but it doesn't mean that there's not a lot of opportunity out there for social media to build a following, to build a curiosity, to build connections, to build your network. So I love this topic. And Sarah Robbins, whose book, The Multiply Method, she has built over a $2 billion business, I think twice now with two different companies, predominantly on social media. So, all right, friends, this is where things get fun. So, I'm really excited for the strategy that I'm about to share. Like I said, it's how Sarah Robbins, author of the Multiply Method, has built over two different companies, over 2 billion. She generates the majority of her leads. And get this, most of them come to her. How awesome would that be if our inbox was flooded with people that were coming to us because we have generated or piqued so much curiosity. So this is what she's known for in her coaching program. So um, I don't know a lot, but I do know that success leaves clues. So not only has she given us clues, but she's actually written a book for us in our profession so that we can learn how to really master this skill. So we are in a social selling business. And for that reason, we need to learn how to share and shall I even say love to share our business on social media? So Sarah is the number one recruiter in her company, and the majority of her leads come to her online. Sarah Robbins says that generating leads on social is her superpower. I want that superpower. You want that superpower? It's her superpower in business. It's a massively successful strategy and worth learning the skills in my humble opinion. It's definitely, the skill where I want to level up. I want to up the ante here and I really want to double down. So, when we track our insights, which I've been doing a lot more regularly now, I'd say over the last couple months, you can check your insights, track your insights on Facebook and Instagram. You're going to be amazed by the growth on social media if you've been showing up consistently. So I've been doing this and I've actually gained almost 100 new followers in the last 6 weeks or so. And yes, I've lost some, but that's okay. I'm attracting the right followers and the ones that, just I might not be their jam. Those ones are, kind of floating away. Maybe they'll come back, but that's okay. 100 new followers or so over the last 6 weeks just by being consistent, just by sharing who I am and by trying to add value. I can definitely get better. As I put together the training today, I also realized that I could, get a lot better in what I'm doing. But I was willing to rip the band aid off and just suck at it. I hate hearing my voice and I hate watching myself, but just I'm not overthinking it. When I have an idea, instead of waiting to go on live, I just turn it on and just go because the truth is that if I wait and try to wait for the perfect time or try to formulate the perfect words, it loses its energy, right? So I've been trying to do that perfectly. Absolutely not, but progress for sure. So lots of conversations are starting to happen on social media. And write this down: conversations are the currency of social media. So I've been applying what I'm going to share with you to grow both my number of followers, who, by the way, are potential customers, and engaged followers, people who just, like my content. So since social media is constantly changing, we're not going to go into the specifics of certain, platforms, but we are going to talk about what works and what doesn't work when it comes to selling on social. So for now, I would say the best social media platforms for me are, Facebook and Instagram. TikTok is a whole other world that I haven't even, gotten into, but find your jam. I'm just old. I'm a Facebook person. Instagram was like, scary for me. So I'm just really starting to wrap my brain around that. But it doesn't really matter. Just find, I would say two that work for you. So before we talk about what's working, I think we need to know what's not working when it comes to having success on social media. So a lot of social sellers get it wrong. I've gotten it wrong. I probably still do some things wrong, but we go in with the mindset that social media is a task that we have to check off their list. Has anyone ever done that? Like, I have to post something. Like, I just have to do something today. I'm guilty of that for sure. But we simply, go online, we post pictures of our products. Excuse me, of our products. I have a cold, sorry. We post pictures of our products and we wonder why we're not getting engagement, why we're not getting new leads. In fact, these efforts a lot of times often have the opposite effect of what we hope for. We lose followers and sales slow down. So write this down. Your business is your priority, not theirs. Your business is your priority, not theirs. And also write this: our products, so our skincare, our nutrition, let's just talk about those two cores, are the only solution to the many problems our prospects face. Our skincare, our nutrition are the only one solution to the many problems that our prospects face. Okay, I think that's kind of a mic drop moment. In other words, our social selling is not exciting to our audience. And the truth be told, if we're doing social media in this way, it's probably not exciting to you either. So let me give you an example. Let's say that we're focusing on our 30 days to healthy living, or you know what, our healthy habits bundle, since that's what's, on sale right now until tomorrow. Basically, our weight loss or weight maintenance products. So if you post about our weight loss products every day, chances are that your audience is going to get tired and eventually stop following your account. You'll feel good knowing that you posted about your product that day, but the truth be told, no one in your audience would feel good or engage with your content if that's what you're talking about every single day. But what if instead we talked primarily about a healthy weight journey and what that looks like? And what if we gave tips to engage new followers to learn from us? That's why it's really important to know your who. Like, who is your ideal customer? It can't be everybody. We got to get like laser beam focus on like, who are we trying to attract? Who is our ideal customer? It's probably us, right? It's probably someone similar to us. So how can we serve them with content that attracts rather than repels them? This is how we're going to build our audience and how we're going to attract the perfect potential customers. This way, when we sprinkle in our product, you have more people who want to try or buy or even learn. So it's more important that you know your who your ideal customer is. And you know what? Do me a favor. Type in the chat who you think your ideal customer is. Like, what do they like? What are some of the maybe dreams, discontents, desires? Um, who are they? Let's see some of that in the chat. And also, I need to see what other comments are here in case I need to respond. Anyone? So my ideal client is a working mom who feels that there's more month at the end of the money. Somebody who's looking for a little bit of a financial breathing room. Somebody's who I'm going to cry. Somebody who's looking to get back to who they are. Someone who's sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Somebody who just needs to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Someone who's looking for their spark. Empty nester friends who forgot to dream and who've been on the back burner for so long. Someone who is looking to improve their health through better choices. Issues, skin issues. Those with busy lives needing to make small, healthy changes in their lifestyle. Someone who's looking for an energized way of living. GLP-1 users who are malnourished and looking for ways to supplement their sparse eating habits. Burned out dental hygienist, nurse, or mom who is wanting more time with their kids without sacrificing their income. Women in their 50s and beyond going through their changes, their second act. Someone who just wants to stop taking themselves so seriously, let loose a little. People who want to rise up. Someone who just wants to, someone looking for a second act. Women who are hitting their perimenopause and can't find anything good uh, for the new level of dryness in their face. Perimenopause struggles with no energy and don't have hope. They feel they just age and feel worse. They want to feel better. They're craving community. People who want to use safe products. People who want glowing skin. People, for me, who look in the mirror and want to recognize that their best days are not behind them. They're actually ahead of them. Men who want their wife to have some fun with us. Great. All of these are great. Do you see how they're moving me? They're moving me. And I hope they're moving you. Like, we really have solutions to help so many people with so many issues, real issues that people are experiencing today. Right? So thank you for typing some of that in there. So, okay. People with food sensitivities, allergies who need supplements targeted at their particular needs, women who want to expand their horizons. This is all great. Do you see the difference of just posting a picture of some products? Something from, the Arbonne content kit, which is great. They're gorgeous pictures. But who cares about the pictures? Who cares about the pictures of products, right? We need to help people solve real life problems. So if you get to know your potential customer, you can actually be the place that people check on purpose for inspiration, motivation, and education. I know that sounds kind of wild to me. That almost sounds like, I don't know if I can do that. But, I've been following Sarah Robbins a lot, and there's nothing that special about her. Like, we are all equally as special. We all are that special, yet not that special, if you get what I'm saying. So it's really about learning how to kind of crack this code and be willing to navigate these choppy waters and not be so great at it at first. But you want to think about what type of content these kinds of people that we all just shared about would enjoy. And a lot of this can be found by checking your insights. So like I said, I've been checking my insights. It's fascinating. It tells me what's going on. It tells me like when most people are checking out my content, like what time of the day, what days. It tells me the age range, the, male or female. This is all fascinating information, fascinating data. So let me use the example of like weight loss and wellness. Most people could use this product. Like, obesity is running rampant in this country. Most people would love to lose weight and get healthier. So, how do we introduce this without losing interest up front? Here's 3 words: give great value. We want to know how to outsmart the algorithm. Be the place that people check on purpose. There's actually several people whose content, whose profile I go to check on purpose. I'm fascinated by what they're doing. I've been checking out like some of these influencers, and I do. I want to see like what are they posting? Like, what is it? So they become one of those people that I go check on purpose. So, in other words, create content so good that people check your social media accounts every single day to see what you share. And then they share with their content, your content with their friends. And this increases exposure. I'm going to say it again. Create content so good that people check your social media accounts every single day to see what you share, and then they share their content or your content with their friends. So, in order to be successful at let's selling on social media, we have to create content that performs well with our audience and performs well with the algorithm. So, let's talk about creating posts that perform with our audience. So, let's look at what we're posting. Okay, take a look at what you're posting and ask yourself, like, are you giving the audience value? Are you making their lives easier or better? Is your content shareable? Meaning, is it interesting enough that they share it with their friend? If not, it's okay. We just need to go back to the drawing board. So let's use this weight loss or 30 days to healthy living or the healthy habits, this wellness example. What are some of the things that you could talk to your audience about that might interest them and attract new people? You want to type that in the chat? What are some of the things that you could talk to your audience about that might interest them or attract new people? Recipes, healthy recipes, excellent. More energy, less aches and pains for me. Yep, your results, your personal results. Anyone else? I actually have some ideas. Um, Relatable content, hot flashes, sleepy, snoozing, snoozing. I haven't heard that word in a while. Snoozy. Do a demo of making a protein shake. Excellent. How easy our solutions are to create in their daily, to use in their daily lives. Getting perimenopause under control. Showing that you can have setbacks. Yes. Daily healthy habits. Excellent. This is all great. So I'm going to give you some ideas that I have written down here. Healthy lunches, maybe healthy lunches for your kids, maybe healthy lunches for you, simple grocery swaps, excellent, high protein snacks, ways that you increase your water intake, maybe fast, fun workouts, maybe fun, clever ways to get more steps in, maybe funny memes, some inspiration, some quotes, some motivation, some education, some tips. These are all great ways to add value. You see, when you're the place that people check on purpose, you not only outsmart the algorithm, but you create the type of content that your ideal customer is going to consume and hopefully and share with others. So let's talk about this. So we talked about who our ideal client is, what type of content they might enjoy, and what could some of my social media pillars be? Pillars, what are pillars? Like post topics. What are some of my post topics? So we went over some of that. But also be well rounded. I mean, for as much as I love Arbonne, it's not my whole life, right? Like I'm a mom, I'm a single mom, I'm a businesswoman. I love to learn about real estate. I'm a chef. I have a catering company. I have a food styling company. There's all these other, facets to me and to you as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. But here's a story of how Sarah turned a simple Facebook page into a community with the social media following of over 500,000 people. Now, uh, we probably not everyone wants to do this. I don't think I want to do this, but I just want to give you an idea for some inspiration. So she says that when she started her business, Her company actually had a funny rule. It was a rule. They couldn't say their company name on social media, but this actually ended up working to her benefit. She knew she wanted to use social media as a tool to not only share her business, but also to serve people by sharing how she was growing her business. That's, I guess, she was a teacher. She liked that. So she'd go online every week and she would share her what she would call prospecting pop-ups, training tips in under 10 minutes. So she would share strategies, techniques, ideas for growing a successful sales organization. And she gave such great value that not only did her team tune in, but people from other companies started sharing content with others like me totally love her content, right? And eventually that page grew to over 300,000 people and her collective social media following grew to over 500,000. Okay. That took time. She was consistent. She treated it like a business. She was adding value. I'm sure I would love to see some of her first posts. I bet you they're totally different than they are today. But she was eventually able to monetize by releasing a book, offering coaching to people in the industry. Debbie Neal has a podcast. You can see how she's diversified. That's really become an industry favorite, not just Arbonne. But you can see that she was running a mastermind for top industry leaders. And now she's doing consulting and speaking and blah, blah, blah. But that's what people are doing today with live videos, podcasts. Don't worry, that might not be your jam. That's just like the bigger picture, right? That's what something that it could evolve into. Right now, we're just focusing on our ideal customer. What problems can we solve for them? How can we add value? And this is how it's going to grow our audience and lead to sales. Okay, so how can our products be a solution for these problems on social media? The answer is this. Pause before you post every day and ask yourself, how can I make their lives easier or better today? Think, what can I give instead of what can I get? I love this quote by Winston Churchill. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. And this is certainly true with social media. It's really an upside down approach. You have to give in order to get. And every post comes with a price, either gained followers, potential customers, or lost followers. So be sure to pause before you post and post on purpose. That's half of the equation for the success here. So again, be sure to pause before you post and post on purpose. So creating posts that perform in the algorithm, okay, in addition to creating posts that perform well with your audience, you also have to create posts that perform well in the algorithm. So I like to call this social media's grading system, which determines who sees what you post. As I mentioned earlier, the algorithm is changing all the time, so we're not going to go into specifics here because I don't even know what they are. I just know it's changing all the time. But here's a few things that will never change. Social media is a social platform. It's kind of like a jealous ex. It doesn't want you leaving or sending people other places. So you must know how to play the game. Your ultimate goal is to get people to engage with your content. Likes, loves, comments, conversations, saves, shares. And the platform's goal is to get people to spend more time on the platform. It actually rewards you for that. So how do we do this? Let's talk about strategy. In order to be successful on social, you have to master these 4 things. 1, storytelling. 2, show and tell. 3, sharing. And 4, systems. So success in social media is all about storytelling, not selling. The second that you start posting links or sales language, not only does it turn off our audience, it also causes our post to perform poorly in the social media algorithm because it's all selling. Social media really suppresses that type of content. So how do we tell a story? Remember, we want to focus on value add posts, posts that build our audience, and we do so by adding value, which is going to cast a way wider net. This way, when we post about our business or products, we reach more people who might be interested in trying or buying or learning. Value added posts, get this, value added posts should make up 9 out of 10 of your posts. That was a shocker for me, and that made me really rethink how I'm doing this. Value added posts should make up 9 out of 10 of your posts. If we're sprinkling our business, that's the other, 1/10 of the time. So how do we do this effectively? We do it by storytelling, not selling. You can tell a story about our products by using maybe your own before and after images. There's some great before and after images that are compliant that we can use. This is a great way to provide some social proof, some progress photos, your own progress photos. I think somebody else had mentioned that, just posting our results. Places that our products have been featured in the media. I love sharing the GQ article where it was named, our cleansing balm was the best cleansing balm for men, rated #1. Awards that we've won, testimonials, other people's stories about the business. And as you know, we're selling two things. We're selling our products and we're selling our opportunity. So how do you tell a story about the business opportunity? You do it by sharing success stories. Maybe saying something like, in part-time hours, this business is allowing me to. I love sharing new consultant welcome posts, sharing why they joined so others can relate. Recognition and rewards are not just, by the way, not just when they're earned, but also when they're just available to earn. Some people will work harder for praises than raises. It's true. Events and experiences. Many people join for the community. The idea is to create excitement by sharing experiences, not by presenting a constant sales pitch. Here's some great examples for your 1 out of your 10 business posts, okay? Here's some power post examples. The before and after pictures showcase people who are using your products, or even post progress photos as they go. Talk to your audience about how to get these benefits. Press, when we're featured in the press or receive awards, shout it out, share the publication or some quotes. Remember, people don't always want all the details. They just simply want to know, does it work? Testimonials, to get a testimonial, it's so simple. It's as simple as messaging a customer, asking for their feedback. Just ask, how are you loving, the green synergy elixir? How are you loving the derm results set? When you get good feedback, ask for permission to shout it out and share it with your audience, and then ask who wants to get results like these. Success stories, welcoming new business partners, share their why, what this business is doing for them, or allowing them to do for others. This can attract people like them for the opportunity, for whom the opportunity may benefit. So Sarah Robbins says this, and I think it's brilliant. She says that she likes to use this formula when she's telling someone else's story. In part-time hours, this business allows her to ... focus on meaning versus money. That builds belief. In part-time hours, I actually posted on my stories today. In part-time hours, this business has allowed me to drop my son off and pick him up from school every single day. And he's in high school now. I'm the mom that gets to do that. Rewards and recognition. Share not only when you earn, like I said, but also when they become available. Too often we miss this opportunity when we think, well, I didn't earn it, so I'm not going to post about it. The moment Arbonne offers a perk, share it. You never know who's going to be interested. People have joined, I've heard this so many times, because somebody posted about a free Arbonne incentive trip that they could earn, and it caught their attention because they love to travel. Events and experiences. Like I said, some people get into this business for the community. Never underestimate the power of showcasing your team events or company trips to show how much fun you're having. Speaking of showcasing the business on social, that brings me to my next rule for success and selling on social. Show, don't tell. Let's dive into 3 parts of the social media selling system. So you want to create curiosity with engaging content. You want to engage people in the comment section. Here's a pro tip. Before I post anything, I spend 5 or 10 minutes commenting on other people's posts and engaging on other people's posts and making sure that I'm responding to all the comments that are in my posts. That helps with the algorithm. So when you engage people in the comment sections, when they comment, Get in their inbox. Start asking questions. Move the conversation from the social selling platform to the, one-on-one direct message. Ask them if they've ever used a product like this before. Ask them if they've ever thought about supplementing their income, if you're sharing the opportunity. Ask questions. Get to know them. Build trust. It might not happen immediately. Curiosity marketing is one of the most powerful tools that we can use to generate interest and attract leads on social media. So the idea is simple. Instead of directly promoting our product or promoting our opportunity, we're going to focus on creating intrigue and prompting questions. Rather than giving all the details, just leave enough information to spark some curiosity, which leads to more engagement and ultimately more people reaching out to you. And this is going to take a minute. It's not going to happen overnight. So rather than giving all the details in one post, just leave enough information to spark curiosity. They just want the trailer. They don't need the whole movie. This is going to lead to more engagement and ultimately more people reaching out to you. So when I share our products or the opportunity on social media, I try to intentionally, and this is new for me, I'm trying to intentionally avoid using our company name or the product name. Instead, I'm trying to share stories and experiences that highlight my transformation, the benefits that I'm getting without revealing the exact details. For example, I might post me using a product, the Green Synergy Elixir, but not mention what it is. I actually did it today and I accidentally mentioned what it was, but I'm learning, right? But I might say something like, this has been a total game changer for my mornings. This has been a great way for me to get in, supplement my fruits and vegetables and help me with glowing skin and less bloat. I can't believe how much energy I have now. Comment energy below for more info. See, my goal is to make people curious enough to ask, what is it? Or how do I get that? So this is going to encourage people to come to me for the answers instead of me pushing the product or my company, Arbonne on them. So write this down. Sell the benefits. Don't tell us what it is. So this type of curiosity-based posting works wonders because it invites dialogue. Instead of just throwing information out there, you're creating a sense of mystery that people want to explore. When you post links, you don't know who clicked them to follow up, but you can invite them to comment or message you. And keep the guess, make them work less. Like just if they comment one word, instead of, oh, send me a DM, that's like too much work for them. All they have to do is comment a word and you can get back to them. But it opens up the conversation so you can follow up. You don't have to directly sell anything. You can just simply open the door for a conversation. Be open to that conversation. Don't be attached to the sale. People can comment, they can DM you or message you privately to learn more. But if you tell them to post a word, it takes less of the work out of it. It takes, more of the work out of it for them. So this is how Sarah Robbins generates leads coming to her. I'm willing to give it a whirl. I've definitely upped the ante on my social media game, and I do see a lot more followers and a lot more conversations happening. So again, you don't have to put all the details up front. You're setting the stage for a personal one-on-one conversation, and this allows you to tailor your response to their specific needs. Okay, so conversation is the currency of social media. Before you post anything, like I said, go comment on a few people's posts, spend 5 to 10 minutes doing that, make sure you're responding to your comments, and this impacts the algorithm. So one simple but powerful tactic is ending your post with the question. So questions invite conversation. They prompt people to share their thoughts. For example, if you're posting a healthy living, lifestyle product, you can say, what's your go-to morning routine? Drop in the comments. This encourages followers to share their experience, be engaging with their comments. You keep the conversation going. Another technique is by using a one-word call to action. For example, like I shared with you, but here's the end of the post about the business opportunity. You could say, want to know more? Comment insider below for more info. So let me see what else here. So when people express interest, what do? Get them to the direct message. When someone inquires, respond with a simple, social media selling system, go right to the direct messages, make a recommendation, maybe something like thanks for your interest. If you could change one thing about your health, your weight, your skin, your life, your financial situation, what would it be? Or you might say, here's what I recommend. Check out the results of our customers. Maybe you want to send a before and after image. You're going to love it. Or we have a special today. Actually, it ends tomorrow. The Healthy Habit Set. You're going to love it. Let them know about the special. We have a 90 days to fall in love policy. You have nothing to lose. Would you like to give it a try? Write those words down. Would you like to give it a try? It's really that simple. Okay, so here's a summary. A post a day keeps leads coming your way. Not all posts should be about your business. Every day, focus on giving great value. Think about your target audience, the person who needs our product or our business. What problems do they face? Outside of our products, how can we solve them by sharing value on social media? Today, tomorrow, in the weeks to come? Remember, our product is only one solution to their problems. Ask yourself, how can I make their lives easier or better today? We need to be a source of inspiration, education, motivation, serve people on social media. You never have to worry about the algorithm if you are the place that people check on purpose. Every post comes with a price. We're either gaining or losing potential followers that day. And remember, followers are potential customers. So think about who's your who's your ideal customer, what problems do they have, what type of content would they be interested in, and what potential problems could you solve for them other than selling them your product. I want to wrap it up with this. I read this from Bob Heilig a couple days ago. He said the problem is that most of us give up before the roots even have a chance to grow. We look at a post with no engagement and we think we failed. We look at an empty inbox and we think that nobody's watching. We look at slow results and we think that we're the problem. But you guys, that's not how growth works. In nature, the root always comes before the fruit. It's the same in leadership. That post that felt unseen, somebody read it and felt less alone. That conversation that didn't go anywhere, it was a deposit of trust. That season that feels slow, it's preparing us for sustainability. Just because we can't see the growth yet doesn't mean it's not happening. It's happening underground, and that's where it matters most. Keep planting, keep showing up, because the harvest doesn't come to those who perform the fastest. It comes to those who stay faithful. Seeds don't sprout the same day that they're planted, but if you keep showing up, they most absolutely will. And I can promise you that. That's my training for tonight. I am so sorry we went so long. That was a lot of content there. I know I repeated myself a lot, and I did that on purpose because sometimes it takes us a few times repetition to hear things over and over and over. And I encourage you to watch the recording again and just rip the Band-Aid off. Make it a point to show up on social media every single day. Get your face live in front of the camera. Share what's on your mind. Share what's on your heart. People are watching, and people are living in quiet desperation today. And you have something that could potentially change the set of someone's sail and the trajectory of their life the way that my life has been impacted with this amazing business and community. So thank you guys. I don't know if anyone has anything else they want to share. I was trying to keep my eyes on the comments here. I'm actually going to stop the recording